Welcome back to Real Geek Media. It is Wednesday, February 26, 2025. I'm Hayden. He is author Christopher Michael Blake. Tonight, we are here to talk about Captain America Brave New World. This is the first Captain America movie without Steve Rogers as the lead. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, if any controversial. We're going to talk about action sequences. We're going to talk about the whole movie and what we thought. So stick around. Should be a fun time. Before we get into the movie, Christopher, what's new?
Hayden, I am slowly circling the drain pipe of life that somebody flushed down the toilet at this point.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is not good.
The only thing worse seems to be Captain America, but that's just my opinion.
Uh-oh. Well,
it's funny how we've kind of reversed our opinions on this.
See, yeah. So we initially picked this movie because we've kind of noticed a trend with Marvel movies, kind of like you had mentioned, circling the drain. And this was just low-hanging fruit, essentially. So to give my general opinion on this movie before we get into all the specifics, it was better than I thought it was going to be. What did you think?
So I'm going to be very blunt with you. I went for a double feature to go see Hard Eyes and then this. Now, Hard Eyes is by no means a perfect movie. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The killers and the kill scenes don't really kind of make sense either. But it had comedy, so you got the laugh. It had gory kill scenes. It had romance. It had attractive characters. The lead of the movie is the female, a very attractive female. I don't know her name, but the son is Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son from the Scream movies. So
okay.
Very attractive, stars of the movie. Some good kill scenes. You got some push-pull between the characters. Are they going to hook up? Are they not going to hook up? Are they going to be together? And then you got the killers running around doing some gory kill stuff, and you got a couple jump scares in there. So you had a lot of up and downs, some laugh-out-loud moments. And I run over to go see Captain America next. And I'm just sitting here like this. At no point did I feel anybody was in danger. At no point did I feel any kind of or cheer or I'm glad he beat that person or hey, that was a big victory or hey, that was a great one line right there. That was a great comedy moment. You didn't even get a good joke in there. So for me, it was just very monotone. It was kind of like the good-looking female with a flat chest.
There you go.
Like, you're just missing something, and we all know what that thing is, and it's unfortunate that I can't tell your back from your front, but I can't believe I just said that, but it's the truth, and it was very flat. It was almost like on life support the entire way through, and the fact that you're saying, well, yeah, this is better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it was going to be other rubbish. Is that really a compliment? I mean, what in this movie made you stand up and say, that was pretty good? That was pretty cool.
And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's the bar is so low with my expectations for this film. And you hear about, okay, well, they shot it. How many reshoots did they do for this thing? It was like many, like every couple months you hear, more reshoots, right? Usually that's not a great sign for a film. So you're right. There was no really, oh man, that was a classic one-liner or, stand up and cheer, he defeated the enemy, evil's punished, there wasn't really much of that. As far as like ranking this film with the four Captain America movies, this is the bottom of the four for me. It's a backhanded compliment. It just I don't know. Like my expectations, it exceeded them because they were low, right? That does not mean it was a good movie. You know, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Just my opinion again, and I could be wrong. Anthony Mackie in this movie was actually pretty decent as Captain America, I thought. He was not the problem in this movie.
No.
His arc in terms of, hey, I should have took the serum, and that internal conflict of not being enough, not being able to do everything that he felt he could do as a hero to try to protect everybody and all his friends in America and prevent war and things that Captain Rogers would be able to do so easily because he had taken the serum was resolved nicely at the end, I thought. So they definitely gave you that arc.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, the opening scene at the monastery, we saw that in the TV show.
Yeah.
Even there we didn't see.
Yep.
All, from what I understood, every scene with Sidewinder in there, this is a spoiler, by the way,
Yeah.
it was done by a reshoot.
Yep.
And that's, you could tell when they go out to the DOD thing that he takes them out into the back and they're in the back bunker kind of talking. And there's like nobody else there because it's a reshoot.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked the part where Gustavo Fring blows up the van. I thought that
I thought that was maybe one of my favorite. See, as short as it was, I enjoyed that scene.
There was, and again, that was probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
But nowhere in there was anything else for me to go cheer. When Falcon goes, again, this is spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, when Falcon goes down, is there any part of you that says, he's dead?
Nope.
Is he paralyzed?
Nope.
No, I mean, we never even, okay, he's got some burns on him.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He'll be all right. Fish him out of the water.
And then you got this short little chick who's supposed to be one of the, the top assassins for the Russians, now working as a Secret Service agent for the U.S., and we're okay with this? Sure, that's not a problem. We can buy into that too. And I'm just like, and I know her part in the movie, in the comic books, is supposed to be much bigger, allegedly. Somebody was telling me. I'm looking at her and I'm sitting there thinking, Oompa Loompa.
Do you want to know what I was thinking every time she popped up on screen?
DEI?
Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
And as little as she was, she couldn't have even been like maybe 5 feet tall. She's taking down these big dudes, right? Like, and I'm just like, man, I just don't see this. I just don't see it. It's that her character did not work for me at all in this movie, at all. And what was her character's name? I don't even remember.
Was it worth remembering? And that's the thing.
It's no impact. Zero.
Is there? I mean, and let's talk about the main bad guy for this movie. This guy's the giant brainiac. He looks like the
leader.
The guy looks like a piece of broccoli.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Okay, looks like a piece of broccoli.
Yeah.
And what's his magical power? I'm going to use statistics against you and probability. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, so Captain America has to go against probability now?
Versus probability.
And I'm just like, this is not.
I think it suffers from so many like a real overstuffed narrative of they're trying to fit this in. You got Sidewinder, you got Red Hulk, you got Tim Blake Nelson, we're going to put all these guys in there. Who's the main bad guy? It's Tim Blake Nelson, but he's barely in the movie.
The end cut scene, after I wish I hadn't waited around for it.
Oh man, like what was the point?
It would have been better, and just in my opinion, if he had been going to Captain America, recruit the first Avenger for the next Avengers movie. Yeah, that would have been a better cutscene. Sure. Let's face it, Samuel L. Jackson did it with Iron Man.
Yep.
He did it with Captain America. Now Captain America's picking up that mantle and going and recruiting the next guy. That would have been a better first episode first cutscene. And then you could have done a spin-off movie on that.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand.
You're absolutely right with that. That would have definitely been better.
Again, this is my opinion, and for what that's worth. And I saw the trailer for the Thunderbolts And I was like, I went from, yeah, I want to see this to, oh God, this looks bad. And I was like, oh, what did I sign myself into going to see this?
You know, what I've heard about Thunderbolts, just to veer into that real quick, is that it's doing very well with test audiences, which is interesting.
But in the trailer, you have, Red, whatever his name is,
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. He's telling jokes. He has some comic relief. Where's that in the Captain America movie we just watched?
It's not there at all.
You have in the trailer for Thunderbolts, the one lady, the head, Soviet spy or whatnot. She's on the phone with the Julia Louis-Dreyfuses of the world, and she says, "Hold on." She turns around and the building blows up. Okay, it's cheesy, but guess what? That's still more excitement than I saw in the Captain America movie just now.
Yeah,
and that's in the trailer, and I'm like, okay, then we got to work this way through the entire movie here, Hayden. Now we're jumping all over the place here. We got to have some kind of symmetry here. Start us off.
All right. So, we're talking about pros and cons right now, right? We talked about Anthony Mackie, and I agree. I thought he was fine in this movie. He's been consistent throughout his performances in the MCU. We talked briefly about the fight sequence. My favorite was the Sidewinder Cap standoff in the street, where he pops around with the big rifle and they start, hauling lead at him. I thought that was a good scene. Very brief scene. Giancarlo Esposito is a good actor. He's in everything now. I thought for what little screen time he has, I thought he was fine. And I did like that his character is not dead at the end of this, that we may see him again. As far as the other characters, the only other standout one that I would say, I thought Harrison Ford was good in this, for what he had to do. I thought he gave a decent performance. He's wrestling with some things, and when it comes out, I thought it was good. You never know what you're going to get with this, but I thought he did fine. The other characters we talked about didn't really work, and we're talking about overstuffed narratives. They're jamming everything in. What did you think about the CGI?
Look, the whole Celestial Island thing with the cruise ships, it was just way overdone. It didn't need to be done. But I kind of just want to go back 1 second and talk to you about the Harrison Ford. Every role for him, he plays the same. It's the same character. I need you on my team. Whether it's Indiana Jones, lay your hands off of her. And there's like, no, he doesn't blink. It's like, I need you to, and he like points. That's it. That's is one thing that 1923. We're going to Montana. And we're gonna get my sons. It's the same. That's my Mark. That's my Harrison Ford impression. Not as good as Mark Hamill's, but it's kind of up there. But it's very very gruff, and I think that he mailed it in as an actor a long time ago. Probably the last risk he probably took was probably What Lies Beneath, in my opinion. That was the last good movie I think I probably have seen Harrison Ford in, which is a shame. A childhood star of ours that we grew up enjoy watching. But
see, I thought he was fine in this, though. Like his performance stood out more than anybody else's to me in this.
When he gets up in the submarine and he's holding on, and you see I'm just like, can somebody please get this guy some Centrum?
Oh boy.
I'm just like, can you give him like a wheelchair, a walker at this point? I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, let's just go through the beginning here. So you have the monastery scene. Okay, very no frills. It's just kind of an introduction. Did that really do it for you?
No, it was like you said, the TV show. It was the same thing. I mean, they're trying to introduce, Falcon or Captain America and new Falcon sidekick, and you get that's just intro scene.
So that's -1. Okay, here we go. Next thing you know, he meets the president and invites his buddies over, and there's the failed assassination attempt. Did that scene do it for you?
Well, here's what they were. I felt they were going for, like trying to get the Winter Soldier vibe, right? Trying to get that espionage vibe in this movie. And
did it work?
I mean, listen, if you're trying to do what Winter Soldier did perfectly, no, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. They made the attempt. It was not even close.
So that's -2. So then we go from there to now he's got to go prove his buddy innocent. That's when Sidewinder kind of comes in and tries to blow him up, right?
Right.
We both agree that scene did work.
That worked.
That was a reshoot +1. So we're still -1. Okay. Then after that, they meet the Jolly Green Giant with the giant head, right?
Oh yeah,
the Brock
leader,
Norris head, right?
Tim Blake Nelson.
Okay, yeah, it's great to have 3 names. So they meet the leader. Interesting fight scene down there in the basement. I thought it was decent, but then the leader comes out and it's like
underwhelming.
Not really, kind of.
Yeah, underwhelming.
Didn't really do it for me. So I give that one like a 0. It's neither plus nor minus. It was just, again, very flat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then you're kind of setting it up for, if I remember correctly, the war between Japan and the U.S. over the celestial adamantium, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did that do it for you?
Not the plot point.
I would say the whole scene failed. I mean, we're only going to file 2 muscles, and there's 2 rogue bogies up there. Look, you got a whole aircraft carrier with B-15s on or F-15s on there. You can't just fly them out there. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, well, we don't want to be the aggressors here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like many of the Marvel movies, even Deadpool and Wolverine, right? When we talked about that movie, we were like, yeah, the plot is like ridiculous. The performances are what you went for, right? And this, much like those other ones, the plot it's just not there. It's thin on substance. It's thin on anything. They're trying for something. They took a swing for Winter Soldier. They missed, or maybe they fouled it off. I don't think they struck out. I think it was, the tricky thing with this movie, right, is I enjoyed it more than, I don't know how many, excluding Deadpool and Wolverine, more than any other Marvel movie going back to maybe Spider-Man, which is, I don't know. Like, why is that? Right. I don't know. I didn't care for a lot of those movies after Spider-Man.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is nothing in this movie leading up to the climax, the Hulk versus Captain America scene, gave me an erection. None of it was tantalizing. None of it was
right.
They got my blood going, made me feel patriotic.
Yeah.
None of it even made me crack a smile or laugh. I was kind of like, okay, how much longer has this got? That's how I was. I mean, because again, Hard Eyes, hour and 37 minutes, went by very quick. Some comedy in there, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, this could be a good double feature. I got to go see today. Go by very quick. Again, Hard Eyes had problems. Not a good movie, but it was fun to watch. I would rewatch Hard Eyes in a heartbeat. Captain America, if I ever put this in again, I think I'll just.
Yeah.
I'm at a low point in my life at this point.
What'd you think of Bucky showing up?
Not enough of them. I heard that was a rewrite too. Like they threw him in there.
I think what I was like, okay, he's running for Congress. Is that what? Did I take that correctly? That he's got a campaign to run? Is that what he said? Okay. how many people did he kill as the Winter Soldier?
He's a hero, though. Look at Ross. He was the bad guy. Now he's president, basically.
Right.
So
It's a hard sell for that kind of point. I don't know. I guess that's where they want to go with it for Thunderbolts, but that was surprising to me.
Still, I mean, not a terrible cameo.
No, I enjoyed
I didn't think it was too. Even if he had done the outro and did the cutscene, that would have been more exciting to me than, all right, I'm gonna go see the leader and you got big problems coming your way. Ha 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 ha. Really? Well, I think you're in the raft. I think we can torture you. What's the probability you're going to tell us what we need to know about those problems?
I think
just sitting there thinking, like, what, you don't think that another government agency is not going to grab that dude and shake him out and tell us what we need to know? I mean, please.
I think.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Who are the two people he broke into the house and shot? It was like an admiral or something.
Oh, yeah.
But was that ever explained?
No, it was just forget.
It was just like, he just showed up at this house one day and just shot these people. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why did he do that?
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in this thing.
And then he just shows up at the one camp and says, you're the guy I'm looking for who's happens to be looking for that vaccine. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to turn this amplifier up and only you're going to be affected.
The Navy SEAL guy. Yeah.
And I'm just like, you can just walk onto a top secret military base and just...
I don't disagree with you about Sebastian Stan. And I think him and Anthony Mackie have a good chemistry together. And this movie might have served better if they were in it together, doing things more. Maybe kind of capitalizing on what I felt like missed opportunities from the TV show.
Which was push-pull. There was a lot of push-pull between the two characters. They initially didn't kind of get along, and then they had to kind of work together. Yeah. And I think we would have liked to have seen some kind of comic relief, some kind of...
Because they had a lot of that in Civil War. They had a lot of one-liners back and forth in that movie together. So I think it would have been better served. I mean, the side characters like New Falcon doesn't really register for me. Like we had talked about the...
I didn't think he was terrible.
No, I don't. It's just it's not memorable, right? It's basically Bucky 2.0, right? But just whatever. I don't know. It could have used more. I did like the cameo though. The characters, I don't know. Any other characters that returning Isaiah Bradley from the TV show. If you didn't see the TV show, you were probably very confused as to who this is.
I didn't see the Eternals, and I was very confused over the Celestial Island.
The Celestial Island, yeah.
And I was like, really didn't do it for me. And I'm just like, because now you're kind of resetting where Wolverine kind of came from. I guess that's what they're trying to introduce eventually. And I'm just like, it's just like, but Wolverine was around in the 70s and Project X, and I'm just like,
I don't know how they're going to pull off the X-Men in this. I really don't know.
Unless they happen to have it in Canada somewhere. It's like, I don't know. It's just,
this movie could have benefited, I think, from a stronger, just central villain. Like you're talking about, the leader popping up here, popping up there. And it's just, I don't know, like who was the antagonist this whole movie? Like you just kind of, it's there. And then next thing you know, there's a fight with the Red Hulk and then the movie ends. I don't know. I
don't disagree with you about the antagonist. It's Tim Blake Nelson just didn't do it for me with the cucumber on his head.
I think that they initially went with like a different, like there was something like a year ago when McDonald's released all the Captain America toys for this movie with their Happy Meals. Like the Tim Blake Nelson one did not look like it did in the movie. And I think they reworked that through like all the post and reshoots or whatever to make him look like Broccoli Man. Didn't work. Yeah. Outside of like, the reshoots that we know about, do you think we touched on the Giancarlo Esposito, that scene worked? That was a reshoot. Who I heard was cast in this movie that got cut totally was Seth Rollins from WWE. He played one of the Serpent Society, but they cut him out, I think, after they cast Giancarlo Esposito. So who knows what that would have even looked like. I don't know.
Let me give you a better movie than what we just saw. Okay? Captain America battling Hydra.
First Avenger.
Why not? Well, I mean, this is the thing. What's his name? Not Brainiac. The guy in the box who's in charge of. He's the one talking. His brain got uploaded. He was in the Captain America movies, and he's in the basement, and he controls all. Wouldn't that have been a better bad guy?
They killed him though.
Did they?
In Winter Soldier, they killed him.
Did they? Yeah. What, when they went into the basement and blew up the bunker?
They blew up the bunker.
He's in the network. He's in the Matrix. Seriously, he's in the network. That's the best thing.
They could have brought him back, yeah.
You don't kill him. He's in the Matrix. He's in the network. So no, but that's a better bad guy than this. And
yeah. It's almost like a Hulk sequel side movie. Because there's like all Hulk villains in this thing. Like, Red Hulk, you got leader, they're Hulk villains in the Captain America movie. And then you also you're introducing or, bringing Liv Tyler back from the Ed Norton movie as Betty Ross. Right? Like, I don't know. Like it's kind of all over the place. But like I said, when your expectations are bottom of the barrel, it did enough for me to be like, it wasn't really as bad.
Very flat. Like I said, that was very just
what.
It was not moving for me.
What do you think about Sam Wilson leading the Avengers?
I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not anti Sam Wilson. I'm not anti Anthony Mackie being Captain America. Like I said, I thought he did fine for what he had. I blame the screenwriters for this. You're going to tell me you couldn't get one person who saw Deadpool, Wolverine, and be like, gee, all those jokes kind of worked. Maybe we should put some in our movie.
And completely mask the lack of plot.
But you know what? People would be laughing.
Yeah. I
would have had some kind of emotion.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the emotion of the movie. I can only tell you, as you know, we're going through Crimson Harvest right now, the script. And I thought I had the script done, and of course, more people bought roles. So that means more rewrites. And we're rewriting the cutscene because there's going to be a cutscene for the movie. And I had written something that probably been done in 100 movies. And Xander says, I want something a little lighter. And I said, well, why don't we put this character and move him and kind of switch these two scenes? He goes, well, if we're doing that, why don't we do a comedy scene with him at the end? And he proposed something, and I was like, it's so stupid it would work. No, and I mean that as a compliment because it's got you talking. And I walked out of Captain America, and I'm not talking about anything I just saw.
Yeah.
It's not like, I have to see the next movie because here's the next Avenger that's in the movie. Because let's face it, they haven't announced anybody for it yet. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, okay, I really don't care. But if you sit there and you question everything you just saw and you're pulled back in, I give Xander a lot of credit because it was a brilliant idea. I told him it's a really good idea, and I think it will work because it's so stupid and it will get people talking. Whether the movie's good or not, the end scene is going to have you say, it'll give you a laugh and be like, what the fuck am I watching now? Where's this anything I just saw? And that's what it's supposed to kind of do. And it's, for what it's worth, I think it'll work out beautifully. So again, at least it has you talking about it. Mm-hmm. And it's almost worse if you're not saying anything about it. It's like, we're almost afraid to make a mistake.
Right. Yeah.
we're afraid to take that leap and go overboard and say something that might offend somebody, where I'm not going to be rehired for the sequel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And who knows what the writer's strike, what happened with this,
Hmm.
and how many people that they brought on. We don't know. We'll never know that.
So before we wrap up the review, let me ask you about as far as what do you think is next for the MCU? I mean, does this feel like the next step that they're laying the groundwork for the next step, or do you think that this is a misstep and they have further work to do?
They're waiting for Marvel Jesus to come out, and that's Robert Downey Jr. I'm serious.
But do you think this movie has done enough to reinvigorate the interest in the MCU?
No.
That's fair.
No.
That's
But
fair.
like I said, everybody is waiting to see Marvel Jesus, Robert Downey Jr. come out.
And you know what's it with the end game and whatever the one they're doing after that is they got the directors from Winter Soldier, Civil War, and the End Game, and those movies are back for those
The
two
Russo
Avengers
brothers.
movies. So that the Russo brothers, they're back for all that. So I think people are going to be interested, like you said, Marvel Jesus. But that's kind of where we're at with Captain America.
If I had to give you a star rating, 2 stars. Didn't do it for me. Not terrible, not good. Just
out of 5, 2 is about right.
Yeah, I'm again not
2 is about right.
Again, for me to sit there and see something that didn't cost anywhere near from the movie to make, and for me to feel more. They put a lady in a grain silo, and the grain silo crushes her head, and you see her eyeballs come out. Now, the kill scene is ridiculous. Before that, everything that happens, like in the first 5 minutes of this Hard Eyes movie, is nonsense. And it's like, really? This is what I pay to watch? And then you see that scene, and as terrible as it's done, they show you everything. Like, the camera does not come off. It's not like, let me flinch away and then bring it back. You see the eyeballs come out of her head as her brain pops out of her skull. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I just felt some way about seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the attractive female come on. She's having a bad day. And it's almost out of a Hallmark movie. It's almost exactly like a Hallmark movie. How she meets this guy, and there's like a connection, and it's a little bit of push-pull. And then her day gets progressively worse. And what do you know? That's her new boss.
Surprise, surprise.
And it's like, wow. But now you feel something. It's like, okay. And now all of a sudden we have this whole backstory of a killer that kills only on February 14th. Okay. You piqued my interest a little bit. Now we got some comedy. Now we got some more kills. Now we got some mystery. You did something for me. Captain America, just, again, it's like the machine's keeping this movie alive at this point. No, I'm serious. It's really, it's like you're almost afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. Before we get to the winner from last week, Hayden, and there was one clear-cut winner. Is your business happen to be looking for an affordable way to gain and attract new clients, Hayden?
It is.
Then let Real Geek Media and Entertainment help you out. Sponsor our show. Run your commercial right here. You could be here talking about your product. Have us talking about your product. Advertising your product. Putting your product on our website. Hayden, we get hundreds of views. Our videos don't ever come back off of YouTube. Hayden, where do we broadcast at?
We are live on X, on YouTube, on Twitch, but you can also catch us on RSS. And where else are we? We got TikTok. We got
Paranormal 27.
Paranormal 24/7 Network. We're everywhere.
How much does a sponsorship or an advertisement with us cost?
The low price at $30.
That's less if you went to McDonald's.
It's true.
Hayden, what do you have to do to be able to go on our show and have a sponsorship with us or advertise with us?
Well, if you pay $30, you're going to get advertisements 4 times a month minimum.
Hayden, it's only $30, like you said. Or if you want to come over to my house, I will put you under my desk and you can bob your head up and down.
And they're paying for that?
You don't have to pay for that. That's like a specialty.
Just
it's a special, you know. It's a special, you know.
Yeah, special sauce, right?
Well, you understand. It goes on the McDonald's sauce. You know? Yeah. And again, you go to www.realgeekmedia.com if you want to hear more corny jokes like that. Because again, that's all we can do. We can tell jokes. We can make it interesting. I can Hey, better late than never, Hayden. I can overreach and not take that chance and not say that. Or I could get a little risque. Unbutton my shirt.
Oh.
And you got to tell me to put it back on.
Oh.
Okay.
We now have to rate this episode not for children. So.
I don't think it was ever going to be for children. I mean, the minute I kind of start talking about the lady in the corn silo and her head's exploding, that's kind of.
We're deep enough into the video that.
Yeah, I don't know what our retention rate is, but it might not be this high. Hayden, are you aware of my new book that's out?
Yes, sir.
Trespass Against Us.
Go pick it up.
When he's confined to his new home for a vehicular homicide he couldn't prevent, flawed author Brendan Peters must dodge his own guilt and the threat of arrest when he witnesses his mysterious neighbor disposing of a body, forcing him into a dangerous cat and mouse game with deadly consequences. Trespass Against Us is now available on Amazon.com and, of course, at ChristopherMichaelBlake.com. Do you know where I'm going to be this week, Hayden?
Where are you going to be?
The Ninth Circle of Hell in Edison, New Jersey.
Uh-oh.
New Jersey HorrorCon with the cast of the Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
Not the new one, the original.
The original one.
Yes, as well as...
Tell me where you are, Josh.
As well as Satan themselves from the Jersey Shore cast will be there. Some members of them.
Oh.
I don't know who they
Interesting.
are.
Interesting.
I don't want to know who they are.
Blair Witch cast reunion. It sounds interesting. So this is what? This is 24 years? 25 years?
I don't know what it is. It's
26.
We were in college, freshman in college, right?
26. I think this was 99. It came out.
That's about right. That's about right.
That's interesting.
Hey, with no further ado.
Yes.
So let's get to the numbers here. Again, there was one clear-cut winner, one champion, and Hayden. I just can't seem to dethrone you. Oh. Captain America, you guessed 80 million. I guessed 40 million. The actual retail number for 3 days, not 4. $88.5 million.
Ooh.
Pretty on the money. You're on the ball. I mean,
did you see the drop off though?
28 million.
It dropped 68% in week 2.
Because there's no buzz around it.
But the sad thing is, that's so telling to me because there was really nothing that came out this past weekend. Right? There was nothing. And when I went to see it, which was this past weekend, it was a jam-packed theater. So, but it was massive drop-off, which is never a good thing for.
I disagree with you about that because the movie that I really wanted to see came out this past weekend. That was Monkey. It looks like a fun movie.
That's a niche film, you know.
I'm glad that you think that's niche. For me, have you seen the trailer for it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks funny. It looks interesting. It looks gory.
Yeah.
It's directed by the same people who kind of did Long Legs, which wasn't terrible. I wasn't over the top with it, but it had its moments. I definitely want to go see Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
So, $14 million is nothing to sneeze at for an opening weekend for Monkey. The second movie was Paddington in Peru. Yours truly guessed 15 million. Go ahead.
How did that do? I'm
But
really
Paddington
curious.
through?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. You guessed 12 million. The actual retail number for 3 days, 13 million.
Whoa.
So Hayden,
We were close on that one.
you guessed correctly without going over on either which one. Congratulations. You are this week's champion.
Interesting. Interesting.
Now, I have to warn you, these next 3 movies that I'm going to give you, I don't want to see any one of these 3 movies. And they all kind of look terrible to me.
Okay.
But I'll go through them and we'll see what we got here.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
The first one is Woody Harrelson playing an alcoholic scuba diver in The Last Breath.
I love it. Alcoholic scuba diver.
I don't know if he's alcoholic in the movie. He looks like he just had like a bunch of weed down there and was like smuggling it through the United States. It's called Last Breath. I don't know what the budget on this thing is. I don't know if Woody Harrelson can actually carry a movie.
Huh.
Is there really,
I did see like a trailer for this, and then I didn't finish watching it. I was like, yeah, no.
And that's I see Woody Harrelson sitting in the scuba gear, and somebody's getting ready to dive, and I turn up the channel. I flip. I'm not interested.
It's Woody Harrelson, and it's Shang-Chi.
That is
The guy from whoever the actor from the Shang-Chi movie is. So I don't know what the budget. This thing. You want to go first? You want me to go? I got a number.
You're the champion. You get to elect.
All right, I'm going. 7 million.
If I could guess 7.1, I would go with that. I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10.
Okay.
Only because it's opening weekend. This may be one of those Japanese financed films, in my opinion. Kind of like what was the movie with Statham where he's battling the giant dinosaur fish?
The Meg.
I'm sorry to hear it. Yes.
The Meg? Was it the Meg?
Yeah, that was a Japanese finance type film, yeah. The next movie is Mickey 17, which is the Robert Patterson on a nice planet colonizing it, which is kind of like what what's his name? Sam. It's not. When he was on the moon. Sam Rockwell was on the moon.
Oh, yeah. Moon, I think it was called.
That's exactly what it was called, yeah. This is what this reminds me of, maybe with a bigger budget. I'm not so sure it's going to do any better, though. Maybe it'll score well with the critics, though. Robert Patterson is that kind of actor.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead with the first number, Hayden?
This is a tricky one, right? Because this isn't this director like he won did he win an Academy Award?
I don't know.
I gotta check real quick. Hold on before I give you the number. This guy was Bong Joon-ho is his name.
You the guy who did Parasite?
Yes.
Which I still haven't seen. I've heard great things about it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. We're gonna go. Let me go. Oh man. 17.
I think that is also ambitious. I smell blood in the air. I gotta go 11.
Okay.
I think this is the kind of movie that if it scores well with critics, it could see a second week improvement, or a bigger than 50% drop off, so maybe 40% drop off instead.
Yeah.
But again, where's the excitement for this thing? Where's the amp? I have to go see this.
I got to be honest with you. I have this. I know this movie's been pushed back a couple times, and I haven't seen a trailer for it in months. Not in months. It was supposed to come out. I forget when, but it's been moved back. And the fact that you don't even see a trailer at the theater for this movie, it's probably not a good sign.
The last movie was, and I've seen this being pushed on X and on different websites like YouTube recently. And I almost chuckle watching this trailer for this movie, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" Because it looks terrible, and the acting looks terrible, and it's a shame. I want to like the actors in this because I liked some of their past work, and I sit there and said to myself, and that is in the Lost Lands, the Wes Anderson, Mila Jovovich, Dave Bautista movie. That's not Resident Evil.
Oh, yes.
Based on the George R.R. Martin short story, which they refused to name.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This one.
And they all thank George R.R. Martin for ending their career as they go, "Hi, George."
Oh boy.
And I'm like, yeah. No.
This thing might not even have a pulse after the first weekend.
Train wreck. Can we say direct to video?
This would be a direct to video candidate, right?
I mean, look, it's Mila Jovovich. Granted, at 46, she still looks beautiful.
Listen, he just puts his wife in every movie.
Well, he has to because he has to stay married to her. Because the minute he lets her out of his sight, she's gone. She holds up a little sign that says, "Help me." No.
I mean, how many Resident Evil movies did he
9,
make with her?
8?
Like, it's insane.
But at least the action scenes in those things were halfway. I watched this one and I'm like, and this is before Batista, I guess, lost all that weight. Now
do you buy him?
Patient
Do you buy him in
this movie?
Well, as his acting, do you buy him? Do you like? Are you like, wow, he's a good actor?
So, to answer your question, there were several movies that I enjoy him in, and I'll list a couple. The Blade Runner remake, the second one. I thought he was good in that opening sequence with Ryan Gosling.
Right.
I really, I thought it was very intense, that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Army of the Dead. I liked him in that.
He was okay in that.
Yeah, again,
he was okay in that.
He did what you look. It's not hard to fire.
Yeah, it's an action zombie movie, right?
You go,
right.
It's not, it's not rocket science, but he did what he had to do. I like him as Drax.
Mm-hmm.
So if I like a lot of his movies, I'm telling you. And then what was the M. Night Shyamalan movie he was in?
The Cabin in the Woods.
No,
no, it was something with the cabin that is in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of that movie is.
Not terrible in that movie.
Man.
Not good. Not terrible. He wasn't why that movie kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Took the nosedive. He was not the cause of that.
Yeah.
Overall, I like Dave Bautista's body of work. Now, do I buy him as 180 pounds? Yeah.
I think that's kind of his, though.
Yeah, it was kind of his physique. That was kind of his thing. It was like,
yeah,
this dude's the animal.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see is the animal. Now, whether he did it for health reasons or...
Hey, listen, if it's health reasons, I get it. But I don't know. This looks like a giant turd, though.
The special effects don't look any good. The script doesn't look any good. The whole plot, it's like a sci-fi and like a scavenger type fantasy type. You're blending all these different. Now, the only thing is saying, well, it's got George R. R. Martin, who knows how to tell a story.
Sure. But you have Paul W.S. Anderson directing it.
You know what? He did okay with the Resident Evil series. I don't really have a problem with that either. Mila Jovovich is still kind of cute. How many people actually go see this?
Let me take that back about Paul W.S. Anderson before he does have some movies that are not bad. Outside of Resident Evil, Event Horizon he directed, which I love that movie.
Good movie.
Right. But that's 25 years ago. I mean, I don't know. This thing looks like I don't even know what it would register. Do you think people are going to show up for this?
No.
I don't either.
You want me to give you my number first? I'll help you out.
Go ahead.
$11 million. That's only because it's an opening weekend.
Okay.
I think you'll get some hardcore George R. R. Martin people out there who want to go out and take a look at this. And and they'll come back and say, "Don't go see this."
I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go 8.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a dead heat between Last Breath and this thing. They're both gonna be on their last breath after their opening weekend, though.
Who's the Domingo Coleman? Is that who that actor is?
The Walking Dead guy. Fear the Walking Dead guy.
Wouldn't this be the kind of guy you want for this movie?
Sure.
I like him. Gravitas to this kind of role.
Yeah. Did he win an Academy Award?
He's nominated right now. I don't know when the Academy Awards are, but I think he was nominated at least.
It's coming up, yeah.
And I like him in the Walking Dead type series, so why not? But he's the kind of actor I would. Hey, we need somebody to come in here and
kind of save this thing.
Give us the Gustavo Fring benefit at this point.
That's the formula.
So that's just my opinion, but
he should be the next Giancarlo Esposito. Show up in everything.
Why not? Why not?
I'm for it. I like him. Interesting.
Hayden, that's all I got for tonight. I'm ready for the news.
Let's do it. All right. So thank you for watching Captain America Review, Brave New World, and all that entails, the good, the bad, the ugly. Stick around. We'll be back with the news. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a like. If you didn't, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. We will be back with our news.